The mysteries that have marked us in the month of March have come or are coming to a close, which means it's the perfect time for my April TBR! Welcome or welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads! Let's go! Yes, hello, and welcome or welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. I am, of course, Mr. Francy, and I'm truly honoured that you've once again chosen to join me today as I go through my April TBR, all the books that I plan to get to in the month of April. Now, I must admit, I am really enjoying my cozy mystery embargo. For those of you who weren't aware, around about a month ago, or just over a month ago, I placed an embargo on myself. I just wanted to do a deep dive into my own mood reading. Never thought I would be a mood reader. Turns out I am. My mood reading is all about cozy mysteries at the moment, and this channel has certainly reflected that. I hope you've been enjoying all the cozy types of videos I've been putting up. I've really been enjoying the ride. So anyway, I became a little bit overzealous and probably ordered way too many books, and when it came time to actually map out my April TBR, I realized I had way too many cozies, so it was about, kind of culling some books and moving them over to another month and actually trying to work out what I'm going to read and when and whatever. But yeah, it is all to say that I am very, very, very excited for all the books that I plan to get to in the month of April. Alright, so we're going to jump right in. I'm going to divide this TBR video up into 3 sections. I've never done this before, but I plan on reading this way with these 3 sections with my cozies moving forward each month. So I think it would be a good idea to start introducing all of you to these sections, and yeah, just makes life a little bit easier. So the first section is my SAS list section. For those of you who don't know, SAS, S-A-S, stands for Serious About Series, and it was created by Elizabeth from the booktube channel Lizzie Faye Loves Books. The basic intention of this is to create a list of series that you want to start, continue on with, or finish by the end of the year. I like creating my SAS lists each year. I think it's an amazing idea, and I usually get either through, I usually complete or get up to date with the series, or at least get to where I plan to get to in my SAS list by the end of the year. So it's something that really does work for me. I have 5 books from 5 different series that I do plan to get to in the month of April that are on my SAS list. So the first of those ones is this book, Dead Cold Brew by Cleo Coyle. And I did not write down what number this is in the series. Wow. Making a liar out of myself. I actually did write it down, I just didn't check. This is book number 16 in the Coffee House mystery series by Cleo Coyle. I believe there are 20 or 21 out at the time of filming. The only reason I'm a bit unsure is because the 21st book at the time of filming is on its way and could be out by the time you're seeing this video. So I'm getting there. I'm very close to being up to date, and I've absolutely loved this series so far. In a nutshell, we follow Claire Cosey, who runs a cafe, and gets involved in all these interesting mysteries, sometimes accompanied by her ex-husband's and also business partner's mother, Madame, the rather eccentric elderly woman, Madame, who I absolutely love. I also love the passion that Cleo Coyle has for coffee. In every single book, there is always a tidbit that lasts for a significant portion, I would say a good number of pages, where Cleo Coyle will, through the fiction of the story, give us actual real life facts about coffee, which I really do appreciate as well. So I did not read A Coffee House this month in March, because I read 2 in February, one at the beginning of the month and one at the end of the month. So I'm very much looking forward to being back in this world in April. The next book I'll be picking up on my SAS list is this book, Death Over Easy by Maddie Day. This is book number 5 in the Country Store Cozy Mystery Series, and yeah, I I find each book in this series so far incredibly hard to explain and critique, but one thing I can tell you for sure is that it always has me feeling very comfy and cozy and warm, which is exactly what you want out of a cozy mystery series. We follow a woman by the name of Robbie Turner. Is that right? Yes, no, Robbie Jordan. I don't know why I said Turner there. I think that's actually a drag queen. Anyway, we follow a woman by the name of Robbie Jordan. Robbie Jordan is like 27, I think, in book number 2 or 3, but I have this running joke where I think of her as being 85 or 90. I listened to this series on audiobook, and the way that the narrator voices Robbie makes her sound like an elderly person, and the way her character seems rather elderly as well. This is not a bad thing. I love my elderly characters in my cozies. In fact, the elderly one in this book, Madame, as I said, I absolutely love her. So for me, in my headcanon, to follow an elderly person in this series, even though she's not elderly, but to me she is, definitely works. Long story short, for the series premise, we follow, as I say, Robbie. Robbie runs a country store where she sells all different types of items. She'll just have them randomly around the store, and people can look at them, and if they want to buy this random quirky item, they can. But what separates this country store from others is that it is also part diner. I'm really, really enjoying my time with the series, and look forward to getting on to Death Over Easy. The next book on my SAS list is this book, which is Copycat Killing by Sophie Kelly. There you go. This is book number 3 in the A Magical Cats Cozy Mystery series, and not only is this series on my SAS list, it is also on my A to Z bingo board, and it is the letter number B. The only reason I'm telling you this is because we are going to be talking about my bingo board section in just a moment, but yeah, my goal is to read the first 2 books in a series on my bingo board, this being book number 3. That B letter on that bingo board has been crossed off, so now I'm just referring to this as part of the SAS list. Okay, now that you're aware of that, we follow a woman by the name of Kathleen Paulson, who is a librarian. Excuse me. I am so sorry, I was having a lot of issues with my voice there. We follow a woman by the name of Kathleen Paulson who runs a library alongside her adorable cats Hercules and Owen. As this series title may imply, or very heavily kind of just puts it out there, it is a magical cats cozy mystery series because Owen and Hercules do have magical abilities. What magical abilities do they have, you ask? Well, I'm glad you did. I'm not going to tell you though. You're going to have to read the books to find out because they would be a spoiler. I really love book 1. I did not like book number 2. So for me, I'm going into book number 3 really hoping that I do like it. Sometimes I come across duds in cozy mystery series, and that's just the way it is, so I forgive a dud and we'll move on to the next book, and if I like that one, then yay, I will keep going. If I don't like if I have 2 duds in a row, then I will DNF. So I'm really hoping that this is a good one and that it takes me back to what I love with book number 1, which book number 2 did not do. If it does that, then I'm really, really, really excited to get into this one. The 4th book from my SAS list that's on my TBR is this book, which is Message in the Mantle. It is book number 3 in the Inn at Holiday Bay Cozy Mystery series by Kathy Daly. I have not read book 2 yet, but I will have read it by the time we get to the end of the month. It is literally the last book that I'm reading. I liked book 1. I felt like it was very slow paced. Not everyone agrees with me, but we follow a woman, and I'm so sorry that I have forgotten her name, Abby Sullivan. We follow a woman name of Abby Sullivan, who has purchased this, just to make it easier to say, mansion that she is turning into a B&B. And in book number 1, I felt, as I said, not everyone agrees, that it was very slow paced and it was all about the setup and her trying to, build the B&B and get it ready for opening. I do feel like it will be open and up and running in book number 2, so I'm looking forward to getting to that one. And of course, this book does continue on with that series. So I am excited to get to this one, even though I haven't read book 2. Is that a big statement to make? Probably, but I'm still excited and I do like the cover. It's very, very, very cute. The final book that I'm reading in the month of April that is exclusively on my SAS list is this book, You Better Watch Out by Linda Riley, which is book number 5 in the Grilled Cheese Cozy Mystery series, and it is going to be very hard for me to read this one because either this is the last book in the series or it is the latest one in the series, and I'll be completely up to date. So either way, there's either no more to read after this or I have a long wait in store before I get to the next one. There hasn't even been any talk about another one coming out yet, and I think this one came out around November, something like that, of last year. So, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, the premise of this one is that we follow our protagonist, Darcy Hale. Darcy is her name, is that right? Let's hope that we're not getting this wrong. No, it's Carly Hale. I am so sorry. Carly Hale, who runs I'm horrible with character names. If you're new, hello and welcome. If you're not, you're well aware. I am not good with character names because I read so many books. The story itself, yes. The character name, no. We follow Carly Hale, who runs a grilled cheese eatery in Balsam Hill, something like that. Balsam Dell. I'm really not good with names, as I said. But I love this series so much. It is so cozy, comfy, warm. The culinary side is just perfect. The mysteries I always love. I've given every book in this series so far an overwhelming 5 stars. I feel like Linda Riley writes for me. And of course, we can't go past the gorgeous dog on the cover, who, it makes sense because it's the Grilled Cheese Cozy Mystery series. His name is Havarti. Because of course it is. I just love this series so much, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's been a really wonderful journey for me. So now we're going to enter into my A to Z bingo board challenge. This is a challenge that I was inspired to do for myself thanks to an A to Z bingo board that I had seen my dear friend Ro over on my Discord server do. With my A to Z bingo board, it is literally as it sounds. It is a bingo board that has 26 prompts. Each prompt contains a letter from the English-speaking alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, and so on and so forth, A to Z. Under each letter, I have a series title. In order for me to cross a prompt off of that bingo board, I need to have read the first 2 books in that series to cross it off. So yeah, it's a letter, a series, read the first 2 books, cross it off, so on and so forth. The only exception to this rule is if there is only 1 book in the series, then I cross off the prompt because there isn't another one, or there isn't another one yet. So, we are now into that A to Z bingo board challenge section of my April TBR, and I have 5 books of 5 different series. Let's say that again. 5 books of 5 different series that are from my A to Z bingo board challenge that I'm reading in the month of April. The first of which is my A prompt, which is the Witch's Cat Cozy Mystery series. Book number 1 is called A Familiar Tale. This is by Delia James. I don't know a lot about this book going in, but I know that some people have read this book and said that it disappointed them a little bit. I'll see how I go. I love the fact that it has the word familiar in it, clearly when it's saying familiar, and with the series title being, what was it called again? Witch's Cat. It's clearly paranormal, but I don't mind my paranormal cozies or my fantasy cozies or whatever. I read fantasies and paranormals, not cozy fantasy paranormal, but actual fantasies and paranormal books before and loved them. So if my cozies are going to have fantasy or paranormal aspects in them, I'm totally fine with that. The more the better for me. And so I'm really intrigued. I love the fact that it has the word familiar in the title, and I do believe that the word familiar does continue to come up or something like that. And yeah, so I'm really intrigued. Haven't read the book before, want to go in blind, so I'm not going to say anything about the premise, but I am excited. Next up is a double header. Not only is this book on my SAS list, but it is also a letter on the bingo board, so I place it into the bingo board category. It is the letter D, and the series is called the Salem B&B Cozy Mystery Series. I read book 1 this month in March, and I absolutely loved it. This is book number 2, Mrs. Morris and the Witch, and it is by Tracy Wilton. So the basic setup of this series, at least in book 1, is that we follow a woman named Charlene. Charlene was married to her husband. Unfortunately, there's a horrible backstory, but he is no longer alive, which is really sad. So that's why it is called Mrs. Morris, and every single book in the series is called Mrs. Morris and the something or other. So yeah, so Charlene Morris is who we follow. Because of what happened with her husband and that whole backstory, Charlene decides to buy again, to cut a long story very short, we'll just call it a mansion, basically sight unseen. She's seen it online, but she never actually looked in the mansion before purchasing it, and that is because she came from a different state, and she purchased this mansion in Salem, which I just think is fantastic because I haven't read a cozy in Salem before. So Charlene arrived at the B&B in Salem, and well, phew, worked out. The pictures were very accurate, but there were still some things she needed to fix up. Along the way, she ends up meeting a very friendly ghost who resides in the cozy B&B, and yeah, it just reminded me of Casper, the friendly ghost. Not that this ghost was a child, but that he was incredibly friendly. I really, really, really enjoyed book number 1. I could not fault it at all, and I'm really looking forward to getting on to book number 2. Next up is my E series, and that is one that I'm very excited to get to. It is not the book that I'm holding, though. But it is the one that I'm holding now. It is the Cat Ladies Mystery Series. Book number 1 is called Escape Clause, and it is by Linda Riley. Given that I am about to close out the Grilled Cheese Cozy Mystery Series, or at least get up to date, and that Linda Riley, everything she writes, I feel like she writes for me, I need to dive into another series by this same author, and I am very, very excited about that. Honestly, it could have been called the Flippity Flip 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 series by Linda Riley, and I still would have picked it up because I'm picking up the series for Linda Riley. There's everything about grilled cheese, the grilled cheese series, I love. Whether it be the cozy side, the mystery side, the characters, the setting, everything. That's why I feel that Linda Riley writes for me, and that's why I need more, and I can't wait a whole other month after finishing You Better Watch Out. So, there we go. Escape Clause by Linda Riley, and this, as I said, is my E series. Now we get to the book that I was holding earlier. This is my P series, and it is a series I'm incredibly excited to get to. I have been for many, many, many years, but each time I had an available spot on my TBR, it slipped through the cracks because I totally forgot that I even wanted to read this series, but I finally am getting to it. It is called the Bread Shop Cozy Mystery Series, and it is by Winnie Archer. Book number 1, as you can see, is called Kneaded to Death. I, again, don't know much about it, but from what I have been told, it is extremely culinary. It focuses a lot on the bread and the bread making, which is exactly what I want out of this series. So I am very excited. As I said, I have been waiting years to read this book and just kept forgetting about it. I think I first started reading cozies in 2021 or 2022, something like that, and within a couple of months I had saved the audio book of this one to what was called Scribd and is now called Everand, and just kept forgetting all about it. Finally in 2025, I'm finally going to get to it. I cannot wait. My final A to Z bingo board book that I'm going to read is one that was also on that Scribd saved section all those years ago, and I can't wait to get to it. So it is the W book on my A to Z bingo board, and it is the Domestic Diva series by Krista Davis. Book number 1 is called The Diva Runs Out of Time. Yes, The Diva Runs Out of Time, which I love that title. I don't know a lot about this, but I mean, obviously the word time makes me feel like it's leaning towards a culinary cozy type of series. I have heard some people say that it is a rather a grittier series compared to a cozy one. I have heard people say that they don't necessarily like the main character in this series. All of that is totally fine for me. I want to read the first book and then make the judgment for myself if I like it or not. So I'm very excited. As I say, I had been wanting to read both of these for a very long time, and I finally will be. And now we move into my spare section. So the spare section is just cozies I'm going to read for the heck of it, because I want to. I saw them and went, yes, let's add these. There are 4 cozy mysteries that I'm going to have in my spare cozies section, and these will be the last priority that I have. All of the books you've seen, the order you've seen them in, that's the order I'm going to read them. So if I run out of time, I will more than likely run out of time with the spare cozies than the others. My first spare cozy, the moment I saw the cover, I just went, yes, I need the cover. And this is how seriously weird it was. I saw the cover and I thought, I don't care if I don't like the book, I just want the cover on my shelf. Anyway, the series is called The Sunny Side Up Mysteries. Book number 1 is called Murder Over Easy, and it is by Rosie is a point or something. When I listen to the audio, I'll let you know if I listen to this on audio. I may read it on physical. I am going to try and challenge myself in April to read some physical books, so if I listen to the audio, I'll be able to tell you how to pronounce the name correctly. Anyway, as I say, this is book number 1 in the A Sunny Side Up Cozy Mystery Series, and look at how gorgeous that cover is! How can I not want this cover? It is so beautiful! The writing, the font is huge. Probably hard to tell from back there, but it is massive, so it'll be very easy to physically read. I have heard different things about the book, some things that I feel I will like, some things that I feel I may not like, but you know what? It's totally fine. I wanted the cover, I've got the cover, and I cannot wait to give it a go. An egg cozy! Are you kidding? I'm so excited. Next up in my spare cozies is one that I am very, very excited about because of what I have heard. So, it is the Jules and Bun Cozy Mystery Series. Book number 1 is called Left Fur Dead, and as you can see there, it's by J.M. Griffin. The reason I'm really excited about this book is because relatively recently, we were doing a voice sprint over on my Discord server, and I was asking about cozy mysteries that feature animals that talk. In one way, shape, or form that I don't remember what it is, my dear friend Sherry was telling me about this series and how the rabbit does communicate in this series. Whether the rabbit did or did not communicate in this series, the fact that there's a rabbit in this series has me so intrigued because it's not common that we get bunnies in series. So, yay for the bunny. Yay for the bunny being communicative as well. I really don't care what the rest is about. I'm here for the bunny. I am very, very, very happy. Speaking of adorable animals, it is one thing to have an adorable animal that's going to be in a certain book, but how about an animal cozy mystery series? Now, it's not to say I haven't read animal cozies, and it's not to say I'm not reading other animal cozies in the month of April, but the series title for this one has me incredibly excited. It is called the Lucky Paws Pet Sitting Cozy Mystery Series. Book number 1 is called Death by Chocolate Lab. How cute is that cover? And it is by Bethany Blake. I, again, want to go into all of my cozies blind, so I won't say the premise, but what I will say is the fact that it is called a Lucky Paws Pet Sitting Cozy Mystery Series has me very, very, very excited. If we are following an amateur sleuth whose job it is to pet sit with pets. Yes. Why haven't I read this book yet? Yee! Can't wait. Oh, but my friends, the final book that I plan to get to in the month of April, and I really hope I have enough time to get to this final book, is one that has me incredibly excited because I never thought I would see the day where I got to read a cozy mystery series that had my favorite ever concocted in my mind theme as a theme in a cozy mystery series. Now, to keep expectations low, the theme is a specific type of culinary food. Okay? So, if you're not a culinary fan, maybe you won't be as excited as me. But, when it comes to food, there is one food that your man Mr. Francy absolutely loves and that he would eat every single day if variety wasn't the spice of life. And that food is pasta. I am referring to the Italian Chef Cozy Mystery Series. This is by Catherine Bruns, I believe, or Bruns, something like that. Book number 1 is called Penne Dreadful. Penne Dreadful. Oh, I love that title. I am so excited. I'm going to read a pasta cozy. And from what I have heard, the main character, the sleuthing main character, actually makes her own pasta. Get out of town. She makes her own pasta. Yes, how did I not know about this series? What the heck? Yes. I really hope I don't run out of time, that I can get to this one. And I feel like if I know that I'm going to run out of time, that I might push this a little bit ahead of some of the others, because it's a pasta cozy. It is pasta. Can you feel the love? I need to read a pasta, and the fact she makes her own pasta, are you kidding me? I am so excited for all the books I plan to read in the month of April. And now we are going to hope that they are not going to fall over and bury me for everyone's favourite game that we like to try and call Up. These are all the books that I plan to read in the month of April 2025. What books do you plan to read in the month of April 2025? Let me know in the comments section below. But in the meantime, I'm going to let you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind and love one another, and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, happy reading. Bye, everyone.